Victor Wembanyama takes over in the fourth quarter as the Bulls lose a third straight game. We'll talk about it right after this. What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome back to Whole Lot of Bull. I'm Troy. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Troy, or you can follow the show at Whole Lot of Bull. All right, guys. So the Bulls have fallen to their third straight defeat, this time at the hands of the San Antonio Spurs. And Victor Wembanyama just went apeshit in the fourth quarter, scoring 18 of his 38 points to lead the Spurs to a victory in Chicago. Now, coming into this game, we already know we're at Coby White and Zach Collins. And then I see that Josh Giddey was pulled from this game as well due to that ankle injury he suffered in the previous game. Um, and so I honestly thought no Coby, no Giddey. So basically our two best players, that this was going to be probably a beat down at the hands of the Spurs and Wembanyama. And to my pleasant surprise, the Bulls have once again shown, despite the loss, that this team will keep fighting no matter what, no matter who's out. This group of Bulls will keep fighting, and I fucking love it. Now, why you can look at it from one point of view that okay, the Bulls had a 13-point lead early in the fourth quarter and they lost the game. And there's another argument that goes on about, hey, this again shows that the Bulls don't have that guy. Like, we've lost to Giannis Antetokounmpo in the fourth quarter. Last game we lost to Donovan Mitchell, took over the fourth quarter. Today, Victor Wembanyama takes over the fourth quarter. So the Bulls have lost three very tight games to teams that have that superstar player, and the Bulls don't have that yet. But the positives that I do take from that is that despite the Bulls not having that guy, they are still in these games. They are still fighting against some of the best teams in the league. The San Antonio Spurs after this game moved to 7-2 or 8-2, whatever their record is now. They're already one of the best teams in the league in this very young season. Cleveland Cavaliers, last year, 64 wins, number one seed in the Eastern Conference. They're off to another good start this season. They're going to be one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis, enough said. And like the Bulls' biggest loss of the season was to the New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden. I think it was by 12 points. So, despite 4 losses out of 5 games, seeing it is 4 losses out of 5 games, it's going to be very easy for Bulls fans to think, "Oh, the sky is falling." That 5-0 start was just a flash in the pan. It was all fake. These are the real Bulls. In a way, in terms of the product of what you're seeing on the floor, the fight, the determination, the teamwork. Yes, this is the real Bulls. Now, are they going to struggle against teams that have that superstar player and against the best teams in the NBA? Of course. We don't have that superstar. So, yes, the Bulls will struggle against the great teams in this league because also we don't have that superstar player. But one thing you can be damn fucking sure of this team is that this team will keep fighting to the end. They will not lie down and die. Now, even late in this game, despite the Spurs coming back from 13 points down with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, the Bulls were still there in a position to win this game. No Josh Giddey, no Coby White. These guys kept fighting. Our 2 leading scorers, our 2 best players, our best playmaker in Giddey, our best shot creator in Coby White. And yet they are still right there to potentially take the game. Unfortunately, for a third straight game, they fall just short. They fall just short. So I'm sure there's a lot of Bulls fans out there losing their minds, thinking that that's it, pack it up now, season's done. The real Bulls have come to surface with the losing. No, the real Bulls have surfaced with the fact that this team will keep fighting and fighting and fighting, and will not give up to the very end. And I love it. Despite the loss, this is the way I can accept my team losing. No matter what team it is in basketball, whether it be whether it be the Chicago Bulls, whether it be my home team here in Adelaide with the 36ers, whether it be my local Australian rules football team, Port Adelaide, I'm one of those people that I can accept losses if you can see that the players have left everything out on the court, on the field, whatever sporting arena it is. I can accept a loss if I can see that those players and that team have left everything out there on the floor. Now, if you can see that they're just lumbering around, going about the motions, seem like they don't really give a shit, then yeah, that's when I'll lose my fucking mind. Or when, you know, you and I can guarantee you there'll be a game that you'll see the Bulls once again keep fighting, keep scrapping, keep going after everything in this game, and they will get blown the fuck out. It will happen. And there might be some games where they don't play very well. It may look like they're not giving their best effort, but they'll win. That's the nature of sports. But for right now, despite the 3 losses in a row and falling to 6-4 on the season now after 10 games, there is very encouraging signs coming with the Chicago Bulls team. And if anyone said at the start of the season that after 10 games we'll be 6-4, I guarantee every single Bulls fan on this planet would fucking take it. And if you wouldn't, you're lying or you're just one of those pro tankers where you'd rather them be 1-9 or 2-8, 4-6, maybe at best because you want to tank and get the highest lottery odds possible. I'm sorry, I want to see my team go out to win every single damn game there is. I want to see the coaching staff do everything they can possible. I want to see the front office put a product on the floor that is going to go out there and attempt to win every single game. With that being said, let's have a look at some of the numbers in the box scores for this game. Now, one of the things that did impress me yet again were the Chicago Bulls. And again, I'm going to be one who credits the Bulls defense holding the Spurs to 30% shooting from beyond the arc. The only player who managed to do anything from beyond the arc was Victor Wembanyama, the alien himself, 6-9 from downtown, including 2 big threes down the last minute of the game to tie the game and then ultimately put the Spurs in front. I mean, Victor Wembanyama, what I would have done now, credit to Billy Donovan, he went with a double big lineup with Vucevic and Jalen Smith both on the floor to try and combat the Spurs having both Victor Wembanyama and Luke Cornett on the floor. So credit to Billy Donovan for that. What I would have done personally, because he had Vucevic guarding Victor and he had Smith guarding Cornett. I personally would have switched it the other way around. I would have had Jalen Smith on Victor Wembanyama and Vucevic down on Cornett because Smith, bit quicker, a bit more athletic, a bit more length, would have a better ability to contest shots from those 2 big threes that Wembanyama hit. And Luke Cornett's not the most fastest or nimble guy. That would have allowed Vucevic to compete with him a bit better, especially and probably taking Vucevic out of the defensive play a little bit because we know that ultimately Victor Wembanyama is going to be the guy down the stretch taking those shots. So I personally think that Jalen Smith would have been a better matchup in that situation. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy sitting on my couch in Australia watching the games. So yeah, obviously Victor Wembanyama, 38 points, 12 rebounds. I mean, shooting the same percentages, 58% from the field, 66 from beyond the arc, 100%, 10 of 10 from the foul line, 5 blocks in this game. Now he's one of those guys that he is what you call a classic rim protector, and he's obviously a shot blocker. Now the rim protection bit comes from the fact that because he is so damn fucking big, and that he is going to block shots, play offensive players get intimidated to attack the rim. You saw a few times there where guys attempted it. You know, one Marcus Buzelis had a nice drive underneath the basket, used the rim as protection, up and under to get the bucket. But Victor Wembanyama is going to cause a lot of problems for anyone who tries to drive the paint. Um, that dude's going to be an absolute superstar in this league for years to come, barring any major injuries, which I sincerely hope that does never happen for Victor. But this is a Bulls channel, so let's look at our Chicago Bulls now. Isaac Okoro, after having a number of games where he was putting up some good numbers scoring wise, um, kind of fell back to the start of season form, only finishing with the 5 points, missing, no, excuse me, 2 points. He had 5 fouls, excuse me. So struggling with the fouls there, misses all 5 field goal attempts, 2 boards, 3 assists. Marcus Buzelis, a nice little bounce back game from him after the struggle against Cleveland. 15 points from 5 and 9 shooting, 2 or 3 from beyond the arc. So good to see that. A couple of nice little pull ups there from Marcus as well. Gets to the line 4 times, makes 3 of those, 5 boards. Do want to see Marcus is still attacking the boards a bit more, but when when that when the slender man's down there patrolling the paint, it's going to be like it doesn't. It takes a team. It's going to take a team effort to get those rebounds away from Victor Wembanyama. It is what it is with that one. Nikola Vucevic, now again another guy because of the size and length of Wembanyama, is naturally going to struggle. 4 of 14 from the field for his 11 points. Does go 3 of 5 from me on the arc, so was able to stretch the floor a little bit there as well. Does also finish with the 8 boards and 6 assists. Kevin Herter's game, good to see him again. Now he gets the start in place of Josh Giddey, finishing with a 23 points, 8 of 14 from the field, 4 of 9 from beyond the arc. So good to see him getting his eye in from 3-point range. 5 boards, 5 assists as well. So really, really nice game there from Kevin Herter. Trey Jones, outstanding performance from him. I believe a Chicago Bulls career high with 20 points, 8 of 15 from the field. Does miss both his threes. 7 boards, 7 assists. So did a sensational job there, filling the void with Giddey out at that point guard role. So yeah, Trey Jones again. He shows why that when obviously Giddey, I assume will be back against Detroit. But when Coby White comes back, Trey Jones has just shown yet again why the Bulls bench is going to be one of the best benches in the league when all our guys are back healthy and starting. And then Ida Sumo, 20 points off the bench. Like the Bulls bench again, did have did have a massive impact in this game. So IO 6 of 12 from the field, 3 of 5 on the arc. Hit a couple of big threes there. I guess the free throw line 5 times. The good, like another great game from Io Sumu there. And Jalen Smith, again, we saw him in the double big lineups, like down the stretch there. Now, 5 of 13 from the field, 1 of 4 from me on the arc. Not great numbers, but it finishes with a double double, 11 points, 12 rebounds. And honestly, when you again going up against Victor Wembanyama, not expecting our bigs to be overly efficient offensively when you got the big guy down there just disrupting everything. We saw Javon Carter come in for a few minutes. He played 8 minutes, excuse me. So 2 or 3 from beyond the arc. So hit a couple of back-to-back threes there. Dalen Terry gave us a couple of spot minutes. with 4 points. Julian Phillips, not 9 minutes off the bench, didn't do anything. Patrick Williams, not really much of an impact from him. He did have the 4 steals, which was great to see, but overall, not really that much of an impact. He did have a couple of silly turnovers where it looks like the ball bounced off his leg, went out of bounds. So we're still getting the full Patrick Williams experience. But yeah, look, again, this is while being a third consecutive loss, I'm not mad. I'm not upset at this loss. When you're considering the caliber of these teams, the superstar caliber of some of these players that they're going against, and for a team with our Chicago Bulls that were expected to be, was it Vegas had them for 33 wins for the season. Most Bulls fans would have had this team after 10 games, probably at best 4-6. I mean, if I look at my, I actually I had a little thing here going through what I thought the win losses would be just to start the season. This was probably like I did this before training camp even started. I'm looking at the first 10 games. 4-6 is what I had the Bulls at to start the game. To start the first 10 games of the season. And here we are at 6-4. And all 4 losses, including that one to the Knicks, very competitive. Very competitive. I mean, ultimately, like the Knicks game, I believe it was 12 points in the end. But those other 3 losses, the Bulls were right there with the ability to win these games. So I can't be any happier with the direction that this Bulls team is heading in at the moment. I'm excited as hell to see what's going to happen. Obviously, once Josh Giddey's back from that little niggling ankle injury, I'm sure he'll be back for the game against the Pistons. That one's in Detroit this time, and then we're expecting Coby White to be back at some point on the West Coast trip. Let's just have a quick look at that. So yeah, we may only see Coby White miss one more game before he's back because apparently the target game is that Utah Jazz game, which is the first game of that road trip. So I'm looking forward to it. Zach Collins shouldn't be that much further away himself. I'm still not doing anything with the ball with that injured hand yet. But for hopefully we should see him back in the next couple of weeks. Excuse me. So yeah, couldn't be more excited to see what's coming in the next 10 games for this team. It is going to be a lot rough stretch. Yeah, at Detroit, at Utah, at Denver, at Portland. Paddy, bragging rights for the first time this season coming up. So that's going to be a fun game. Then the Bulls return home to play Miami. I believe at home against the Wizards. Let me see if I can pull up the full schedule coming up here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at Miami. So home against Miami, home against the Wizards, and then we got at New Orleans, at Charlotte, at Indiana coming up to round out November. So there is a bunch of winnable games coming up to close the month. And I think the Bulls can win a bunch of these games and actually set themselves up for a nice position going into December. So hey, I'm excited where this team's going. I hope Bulls fans are excited as well. I'm overly optimistic about this team. They're in a far better position to start the season than what I thought they would be, even me being overly optimistic about it. But hey, let's just see how it goes. We're 6-4 to start the year. Things are looking good for the Chicago Bulls despite 3 straight losses. Things are looking very, very good. And Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens when Coby White gets back, and hopefully Zach Collins is not too far away either. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me tonight for this episode of Whole Lot of Bull. Don't forget, you guys can follow the channel on Twitter at Whole Lot of Bull. You can follow me personally if you like, at Bulls_Troy. Don't forget to like the video, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Hit us up. I'll drop a link to the invite link to my Discord down in the comments below. And leave some comments down below yourself. How are you feeling about the Chicago Bulls? Because yeah, despite again, just I know I'm going to sound like a broken record, but even after 3 consecutive losses, I think we're heading in a nice direction here. So there's plenty of room on the bus for Bulls fans to jump on. But hey, let's see how things go. All right, guys, that's it. I'm out of here tonight. See Red, go Bulls.